In this edition of In the Workshop, Josh shares his approach to repairing a Trailmate straight edger.
Well, I really like fixing stuff. This might be a bit of a stretch, but we're gonna see what we can do. Looks like it's been repaired a few times. The metal is severely fatigued. There's another little spot I gotta repair. It's my father-in-law's, so he used sticky tape to try to puzzle piece this together. So I'm gonna unpackage this and then put it up on the bench and see if I can figure out what it's supposed to look like. Clean that up and fix those welds. You can see it's been repaired here before, probably with a stick welder. All right. How does this even mount? It's going like this. I bet that's what it does.
Maybe that's why my dad was like, should I come down there when Josh fixes it?
Maybe more sense fit with it. See the witness marks where it was. So yeah, that's how it goes. Now it's just a matter of how much of it can be saved and how much of it just needs to be remade. You know what I can do? See how that's worn there? That's cracked all the way there, that's cracked. So I think what I'll do is I'll replace like this section, and because this has that hole already in it, I'll just kind of cut it right here. I cleaned up this front piece with the dimpled hole and kind of kept the metal. So the metal's fatigued, which is why it keeps cracking. It's, you know, metal has a duty cycle and this metal has reached its limits, and so you can see it's cracking all over the place. So I'm gonna replace this section with a new piece of metal, but to keep the location and to do this kind of quick and dirty, I cleaned up the front part and I'm using that for location. So I'm gonna tack that up like that, and that'll keep this section kind of, you know, just located while I notch that out to put in the new piece of metal. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm using the Multimatic 220 on this because I can TIG and MIG, and I'm not sure exactly what's gonna be the better solution for what I've got to do here. I know some of it's gonna be MIG welded for sure, but I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I had the bottle on, but I had been messing with the gauge the other day, so the gauge was actually pinned shut, so I didn't have any gas. Just gonna leave that tacked for now. Some of the crappy beads from not having gas. Cut the whole thing. Weld it over the top like that. Make a section Alright, so I found this scrap piece of sheet metal, pretty thick, I don't know, maybe a 1/16, I don't know what that equates to in gauge, but I've got it, don't need it, so I'm going to use it on this. Basically, I'm going to take this beautiful template that I made, I'm going to trace it, get a good idea of what I need. Clearly it's not exact, but it'll work. Hopefully I can cut a little bit straighter than I draw. So technically it's a drag cup, you're supposed to drag it, but sometimes I just use it, I don't put the standoff on it, I just pop through it and push it, so that's what I did there, just real quick and dirty. So I'm using a die grinder now with the rotary file to give a rough approximation of those slots. I don't have a Bridgeport or anything, so this is kind of just, like I say, quick and dirty, kind of crude, but it's gonna work. So this is the thread that has to go through it, and it kind of fits-ish now, but with this diameter, I'm just gonna open that up and even it out, and that'll give us enough room for that bolt to work. So I kept this line right here, and I drew it out there to kind of give us an idea of where that plate's gonna sit. It's gonna sit right on top of that, just like that. So I'm gonna clamp it into place and then weld it up. Tack this, and once that's flush there, I can move this clamp and tack that down there. That's an easy one. Clean it up and weld it. So it's clearly been repaired before. We can make one that lasts a little bit longer this time. So paint and dirt are kind of the enemy of welds. So I just kind of put the wire wheel in there quick and got as much of the debris and the paint off as I could. Put enough pressure on the right spot, you can get it so that it pinches tight. Smells like burning dirt and grass. So these bolts have, I think they're called carriage bolts, but they have this square piece on the back. So this actually I cleaned up, I used dies to clean up the threads on these. And then that slides in there and is wide enough so it's not gonna spin out, hopefully. Same thing on this one, that one's a little tighter. So, yeah, now I'll loosen this up so we can put it back together, hopefully. This bolt head actually is worn down, which is why I'm using the adjustable channel locks.
And why did you just tack this?
Just to relieve the stress. So it was just welded here, but
okay.
If that flexes, it might just help a little bit. But I'm pretty happy with that.
Sweet. There we go.
And then put it up on the bench and see if I can figure out what it's supposed to look like. Which is going to be made more difficult because I don't like doing yard work, so I don't even know how to use these things.